Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 109 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Man, Sean's Custom Model Tools, and Return to Kit Form. My name is Stuart Clark, and I have the whole gang here tonight on a blustery January cold evening with a little bit of snow. First starting out, returning from who knows where, doing who knows what, for how long, and he's only going to be able to join us for 30 minutes anyway. Mr. Anthony GoodMan, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Hello.
Good to see you. Things are well?
Things are great. It's awesome to sneak in here for a little bit with you guys.
Anytime, just like, Sinatra used to on the Today Show, and other such things. We're always glad to have you. Okay, and then from Northwest Chicagoland, where he always has a habit of sending the crappy weather our way, it's Mr. Terry Measley. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Yeah, we're going to have some snow here on Wednesday or Thursday.
We got just a tiny amount over the weekend. It's been unseasonably, almost concerningly warm.
Yeah, that's what they said here. We're setting records. So, okay. And speaking of seasonably warm, I don't know if he's gone for a swim, jumping off his cliff from the North Shore of Lake Erie. Mr. Jeff Highland, how are you?
I am not going swimming in this weather. I am not a polar bear. And frankly, the lake isn't frozen. It's we had some icebergs a little while ago, but the ice coverage on the Great Lakes is bad. Really
exactly. Well, I wouldn't want you to jump off the cliff into the water if it was solid ice. That would hurt.
No, to slide down. That would be good.
Yeah, slide down. Then there'll be the scream as he enters the water.
And the weather we're getting on Wednesday and Thursday isn't coming from Terry. It's coming from Texas.
Texas, I know. We can't blame Terry this time. It's going to skirt unless we put a big sign up saying, go left, go left.
Chicago.
Exactly. All right. We're going to start off with, we have the surprise prize draws. We actually have two. Anthony, I'm going to have you take this away and just kind of lead us along here, the garden path.
My pleasure. Okay. So a while ago, dear listeners, you'll remember that I popped in with some awesome prizes from Sean Customs Model Tools. It's a whole box of goodies. They're all different versions of the super standing blocks, which is obviously an awesome tool everyone loves and adores. And we said that we would do a bunch of random draws throughout the year, right? I think it was originally the whole idea was to kind of celebrate the 100th. Episode. So what are you at now there, Stuart?
109.
109. Excellent.
Been a while, but that's fine.
But let's mix it up. Well, that's over and done with. You're 109. You can't be looking back in the past. We're going to call it the
That's no number to celebrate. That's 109. That's nothing.
Hey, once you hit your 109th birthday, every birthday after that is a good
special.
Thing, so
yeah.
You can't go wrong.
But hey, you know what? The winner of each draw, they don't know what they're going to get. You're gonna dip your little paw into the box of goodies, pull one out, and that's what they win. So we'll rechristen it the surprise prize draw. So and you did one, and we have a winner, Jamie Anderson from Richmond, Texas.
Yes,
is the winner. So he sent in a really nice looking Tyrrell Honda that he's working on.
Work in progress.
Yep. So. Submission was the send us any work in progress picture, and that is the winner. So
we should probably take the prize back, seeing as he's sending all the snow our way.
That's right. Yeah.
And
you're still hung up on the weather, are you, Jeff?
And then we have another winner. The second winner is Peter Blazevik. I'm not sure where he's from. He found us on Pocket Casts. He's just getting back into building, and he's working on a 66 Buick Wildcat.
Nice.
Excellent.
So
Nice.
there you go. Actually, let me see if I can. There we go. There's the
That's
picture.
the Haskell kit, right?
I just threw it in the show notes. So yeah, he's got a few.
And Peter, your prize is going to come in true surprise prize fashion. You don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be some version of the Super Sandy blocks from Sean Customs, and we hope you will love it when you get it.
Exactly. And we're going to do another couple of draws the next episode. We'll do it live. Basically, what I do is I get your guys' email, scalemodelpodcast.com. Or sorry, scalemodelpodcast at gmail.com. You send that in. I put it in a separate folder. I throw all the entries in, assign a number to it, fireuprandom.org. Click once, and that's the numbers I use to draw.
Now, in terms of the next draws coming up for the listeners, we had them send in a work in progress. Maybe that's too boring. Should we spice it up? Should we get them to send, a picture of Canadian armor from 1965? No.
I noticed we got 2 car guys. So and I know there's a couple more car entries. So the rest of you guys, the sci-fi builders and all that, you guys got to step it up.
It's random.
Get your stuff in there. It's truly random.
Maybe we should have them send in the picture of their latest dirigible project.
Yeah,
blimp.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Their latest blimp. Oh yeah, please note in the fine print: podcast hosts are not eligible.
Oh damn!
How about a Gundam only contest?
Gundam
only.
only.
We can do that later on.
Yeah, we can do all sorts of things.
We can do a mecha.
Yeah,
we can do a mecha.
You know what? We'll probably have a few prizes before Wonderfest comes. So
you know what?
Pre-Wonderfest.
Yeah, could be, but I'm not sure if that really sits well. Maybe we should, we should go with our tried and true, right? Old Faithful.
Yeah. Old Faithful.
Listeners, send in your work in progress. Pick any project, any genre, any model.
Yep.
To scalemodelpodcast at gmail.com, and you will be entered in the draw for some amazing prize.
I dare our listeners to try and shock us with whatever it is they're building.
Please, I'm the guy that's got to open the attachments.
Let's be careful what you wish for, Jeff. We've seen all kinds of stuff in that back room at Wonderfest.
Fair point.
I never told you guys about the stuff I saw at the Japanese Wonderfest. That was truly eye-peeling.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Shower afterwards for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Hard to shower your eyeballs.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Speaking of Wonderfest, I'm going to knock Wonderfest up a little bit because we received some exciting news. The Canadian Embassy, the Canadian contingent is being increased by 1. Mr. Goodman is going to be making his long-awaited return.
Finally, it's been a number of years. I almost made it last year. It didn't quite work out, but this year it's a go.
That's good. So we're going to have we're going to have 2 of our roving reporters there. Yeah,
all the permits have been signed for.
She who must be obeyed is said
proper
okay.
Deposits. Well, it all depends. I got to see if Terry still wants to go with me or not.
Yeah, I still want to go. Neil is debating it. I think they're gonna do an England trip this year, so they're not gonna. So he probably won't go.
We got a couple of guys from our club, same guys as last year, and that. So it'll be a good time apparently. So Bill's going to be going down as well. Excellent. So the Canadians will be represented quite well, I'm sure.
Yep, and Anthony already has a Macross. Subject complete.
Yes,
so he can bring some. He'll have at least 1 entry.
Yeah. Another one of my shelf of shame has been knocked off. I did. When did I talk to you last? I think I was working on the Lightning. So that it's done. Other than there's, like I was mentioning earlier, a couple pesky decals. I can't seem to get rid of the silvering no matter what I do. There's just a couple of them, so I'll see what I can do. But I finished my Shazaku this year. I finished a little GM sniper kit that I kind of made. It was a sort of a Kipash kit. I've got another one that's in paint stage right beside me. I'm flying through the shelf of shame.
You know what happens? It's because you don't have to spend that hour on the road every day.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just down to the hospital and back. That
Right.
certainly will help.
Extra model time.
Extra model time. Exactly. All righty. The other stuff coming up. A couple of shows. Model Fiesta 41 is going to be coming up. They reached out to me. They're out of the Texas New Braunfels Texas Civic Convention Center on February 11th from 9 to 4. I think that's a Region 6 show, if I recall. I believe that's what they said.
I think that's right. I think that's right.
Longest running model contest in Region 6.
Yep.
They've got a new spot, just a quick 20-minute drive up the I-35 corridor from San Antonio and closer to those coming from the north. So yeah, there you go. All sorts of goodies, I'm sure. Pre-registration, all that good stuff. But no, they were nice enough to reach out, so I said, of course we're going to.
Yeah.
Looks like their theme's going to be hauling the freight. In other words, all the logistics stuff. So that's going to be neat. I like their website. It's a nice looking website.
That's a good theme. I don't think I've seen that kind of a theme.
Yeah, it's a WordPress one, but it's like the way the pictures go through. I have to look at. I did one once like that. It's been a while though. I have to play around with that again. All right. Also, the IPMS Bolton show was this weekend. This is like the second largest show in England that they have every year. It's at a museum. So our good buddy Spencer Pollard, he was at the show. He posted a pile of pictures on his Facebook, and again, just some stunning figures, just everything. Nice looking pod from 2001. A lot of good subjects on the on the tables there. The F4 Phantom diorama I really love. That was similar to the one you built, Jeff. I don't know if this was the 48th or 72nd, but it's undergoing refurbishment in the hangar.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. That's actually, I think, whether it's the same model, but it's definitely the same aircraft that I've got.
Yeah. So some very nice looking schemes across the board. So yeah, definitely worth checking out Spencer's page and some of the other ones as well. You can check that out. But that's always a popular show. Very, very popular. So other than that, a few other shows being announced. Capcom, I believe BuffCon's been announced. We're going to get the details of that up in our area. And of course, our local Southwestern Ontario Scale Model Show we're going to have in September as well. So looking forward to that. So I did hear HeritageCon tables, vendor tables have been sold out.
Excellent.
Yep.
Very good.
That'll be a good time. Now, Jeff, this time don't forget to check their tools section on their website before you go. Place your order in advance.
I'm going to hobble you before you walk into that building. I'm going to get the Panda Hobbies before you do.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I really wanted. Like last year, I really wanted the circle cutter, and that's what I got. That's why I had to distract you and trip you up. I got the last one.
Have you played around with your circle cutter?
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm actually going to be probably using it this week on the Bowfighter. I'm just at the point where I can mask the wheels. I've used it a couple times. Beautiful piece of kit. Yeah, I don't like to mention it too much. Someone gets a bit jealous.
Oh,
someone gets bitter. See, someone gets bitter.
It's not like they're rare or something. We should be
no, but it's tough you don't really have them here, and the only place I'd seen it, because we had no shows for a few years, right? Okay. So Panda had it.
Okay, sorry. You were going to mention Panda Hobby.
Yeah.
Did you get the Display?
I got the Display, the basic one.
Okay.
And see, when I went to the booth, they had about 4 or 5. So I picked one up. Yeah, I picked one up, and then I went back. Literally, like 5 minutes later, I mentioned to Jeff, and by then they were gone. So he still contends I got the last one, and I've been taunting him. But that's not true.
I have a different brand, the Shadow, Black Shadow.
Yep, I saw that one too. Yeah, that's a nice brand too. And like I said, it was for a good deal. And but you know what? None of us compared to what Mr. Measley spent there. He dropped a small fortune there at Panda.
Yeah. So
that's all right.
They have all these Japanese tools and supplies and stuff, and some of it you just don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so God hand stuff. I picked up one of the big Display ceramic files, the Leviathan one. Yeah. They're the small ones, but holding a small file is an unpleasant experience.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control it. You need some space, and the big one, it works great. I use it all the time.
Very
Somehow I got to work that in as the episode title. I'm going to work on that.
I use it all the time.
A few seconds earlier, but anyway, that's fine. And you know what, Anthony? They'll probably have that wonderful black CA glue that you love.
Yes.
We were mentioning that on either a build night or the previous podcast. How you just love that stuff. So
I've got to record a little video of that.
Jeff's got it.
Okay.
Jeff's got it there.
Yeah. And okay, let me give you guys my hot take on this stuff. Right. I can't see myself.
There we go.
Showing. Yeah. So this is the Mad and Terry. You mentioned that sort of those Asian companies.
Wave was the first ones that brought them over here.
And the Wave stuff was like golden. It was amazing. And this one is MadWorks, and I've gotten mine from Panda Hobbies, like on a road trip. Jeff road trip to Panda Hobbies, and but there's another rubber impregnated super glue that I came across that I didn't like as much from AK. It's called Black Widow.
That's right. Yes.
And that's one that's readily available at our local hobby shop. I have been using a ton of it, like for gap filling, just for gluing stuff. I'm not liking it. It's not as what I remembered compared to the Wave. There was a time when you could get the Wave and all of a sudden you couldn't get it and it was heartbreaking. But this MadWorks brand, I think they're from South Korea. Fact check me on that, listeners. But this is the real.
Made in Taiwan.
Yeah, but the company may be out of South Korea. But I'm telling you, this is like the Wave stuff. Terry, I know you. Let's do it.
And I've used just the regular rubber stuff before, but you have to thin it with extra thin super glue, extra thin cement. Use that to thin it down. So remember, you can do that. I thin the gel type super glues as well, just to make them thick. I don't have, that way you get the right viscosity for what you need.
Yeah, you can tweak it to your specific use.
But the Mad Lab stuff, I'll have to do a short video on that, on how we use it. Just if you have that super fine gap from two pieces, like I'm working on another Hasegawa kit, the Rigalt, and they love having these bits. Bandai would find a way to mold it without a seam there, but Hasegawa just says deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you get the little crack. It's impossible to fill any other way, but this black CA makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Well, I know when we first found out it was coming back again, I'd never heard of the stuff, and Anthony was very excited and explained it all. And I know some of the other podcasts have mentioned it too. So,
but interestingly, I also picked this up. I'm showing the boys. Bob Smith Industries. So everyone in North America, our American
that's what I have.
Fellow Canadians, we know this brand. This one's it caught my eye. It's called Tire Glue, 20 to 45 seconds.
Really?
It says IC 2000 on it. To me, it's black super glue. This to me appears to be rubber impregnated super glue, kind of like the Wave one that we discussed, kind of like the MadWorks one that we're raving about. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm wondering if this is the same stuff, just kind of marketed towards like RC kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
RC.
Maybe.
It's been available for a long time, and I think that's pretty much the kind of stuff that I would use, and then thin it down. I'll check.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
So I'll have to try it. Like usually when I see something kind of curious like that, I'll grab it and try it out, experiment. But
I'm the same. Yeah, I love playing around with new things, and
the MadWorks
that's
one,
the stuff I've got.
Yeah, interesting. I hadn't seen that before, Terry, but the MadWorks definitely is. I give that a 10 out of 10.
And the thing is that these Bob Smith ones, and if they have that cap, that colored.
Yes.
Oh no, this is a different one. This is a new one. But
like blue,
they don't seal as well as the caps.
You have to. I find someone told me once, basically, you just, as long as you can keep it clean. So literally every time I use it, if I take a drop out, I'll literally tap the bottle on the thing just to give it a wipe, tap the bottle to make sure there's no clog, and then immediately close it. And I've had better luck with the bottle. I have the purple bottle, the medium setting one, and I've had very good luck with that. I've actually managed to keep it.
Well, just to show you what the average builder winds up with, this is the Bob Smith top, the way it's supposed to look, right?
Yeah.
Nicely settled down. This is my super thin one.
Oh dear. Okay, I want to picture that. I want to picture that,
That's
please.
So
as far
listeners.
down. That's as far down as I can get that top.
Okay,
Oh dear.
listeners, I don't even know if you want to see what he's done there.
Trust
Oh, yeah.
us.
No, it's good. And
Yeah.
I've cut it back. I keep cutting it back.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that, but what I do is like I said, the other thing I do is I try putting it. You know how like some of them they come packaged in a pill bottle. Some of the manufacturers, I've actually started keeping it sealed in a pill bottle,
Oh, okay.
and I find that helps a little bit as well.
Well, any way you can keep moisture away from it is good.
Exactly.
I found my strategy as of late is to just buy the smallest one.
Yeah, and realize you're only going to go through half. It's like that with that, and
I've
anything
finished a
else
couple.
you may use. Yeah,
but for example, that MadWorks one, I'm still working on the first one I bought, but I saw a second one, and it comes in a little foil kind of Ziplocked package. So I've just left it. I've left it untouched, and I'm working on my first one. But I used to kind of go. You'd get a deal if you bought the big jumbo one, but then you would lose out on 3/4 of the bottle. So I just buy the smallest one and work with it that way. That it's a little bit of honestly a savings in the long run. You get to use more of it.
Yeah, I think.
Gary, I'll help you with that. Let's do a little video. That'd be awesome if you'd like some assistance.
Yeah.
Okay. I also wanted to note before you have to go, Anthony, Hasegawa's releasing some more under their March 2023 new product info.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to throw it in the chat here, but I see a couple of Macross releases.
They're re-releasing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the VF1 Super Ostrich, the 2-seat trainer in 172nd.
One of my favorites.
The VF Zeros.
The VF19 in 148th.
Nice.
So yeah. Yep, VF1 with the anti-missiles and looks like the booster packs. So all sorts of
that's great. Yeah, it's so funny how the kits like rotate through being sold. Ta-da! Here's the kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's advertised for 6 months, and the excitement and the hyped up. It's on sale for a week, sold out, never to be seen again. But then 5 years later, you get the same cycle.
It goes back in the vault. Goes back in the Disney vault. Yeah,
we made 10 copies for sale. Oh, they're sold out.
February they had the VF11 Super Thunderbolt from Macross.
Oh, nice.
Macross Plus. So quite a few. So yeah, definitely worth checking out our friends at Hasegawa as well. Yeah, the VF Zero from Macross Zero, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The VF1's Photo Etch is re-released.
That's a handy kit.
It is good set.
It was a very good set. They look
so great. There we go. Take advantage.
It's 48th. They're doing a set for the 48th.
Oh, well, there you go.
I have that set. It's really nice because it has like a pre-painted cockpit panel, kind of like the Quinta.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
So it's really nice. Yeah.
You know what? And again, you combine it with the masks from our friends at Return to Kit Form.
Oh yeah.
I think to make sure I get some.
Yeah, I think Return to Kit Form will have these kits in their shop, I believe. So yeah, check them out.
Yep, and they've also got a sale going on right now. So on the original Macross Zero F14, I think it's
in the
20% off. And the MiG, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Those are kind of neat. I think it's a Hasegawa Tomcat rather. I was about to say Phantom. It's a Hasegawa like an earlier Tomcat, but I understood it was a decent kit. But you get the Macross specific decal sheet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit of an interesting.
Yeah, it's no modified parts or anything. I don't think.
But I think that'll be nice. So definitely. All right. Well, we should probably let you go, Anthony.
All right, you're cutting me loose.
I'm cutting you loose. We're going to have you back next time for longer. We're going to chain him to the chair, but it's duty calls.
Yeah. So, thanks a lot for having me on, guys. So
it's good to see you, Anthony.
Don't forget to check out Sean's Customs. He's got all the good, fun stuff. And send in your whips, listeners.
Yep.
And so now I got a road trip with Jeff to Panda.
Yep.
Terry, we're going to get together. We're going to do a little tutorial about black super glue, the best.
And we're all going to be there at HeritageCon.
Dance cards full.
Dance cards.
That'll be a couple of weeks out. I've got some travel coming up, Anthony. So
for sure,
it'll be
sometime. Something to look forward to.
I'll get
it figured out. We'll get it figured out.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you, and have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the episode, listeners, and we will see you soon.
There we go.
Great seeing you, Anthony. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Moving on. We talk about AK. Speaking of AK, they got a few more things. Wild and weird stuff, of course. Lots of new stuff. So they have a book, Techniques for Creating Basic and Scenography. I don't know why they just can't call it scenery, but large dioramas or vignettes that tell complex stories. So just an absolute huge thing of different ideas and dioramas. It's about reproducing techniques to carry out small scenes, which at some point have come to mind, but we have not had the opportunity to address. So it's kind of their miscellaneous book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be available in English because these screenshots have a lot of Spanish.
There's a lot of Spanish there.
A lot of Spanish.
I assume so. We got scenes with accessories, scenes with water, civilian scenes and street art, sci-fi scenes, urban, stuff. Military, and aviation scenes.
Oh, got a tarmac.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Even a tarmac. Okay, next up under this is hilarious, was someone drinking when they came up with this idea, but it'll probably work great. The splatter tool.
Oh.
So it's a square PVC tool with different colors brushes, which have different lengths, filament lines, and hardness. And this, it looks like a square, and it looks like someone's glued together four different toothbrushes.
Yeah,
just toothbrush heads.
Four different colored toothbrushes.
Look at the snazzy box it comes in, though.
I'll probably buy this.
Yeah, see? Take my money.
I think I'll just use my toothbrush.
So basically,
then you'll only have one type of spatter.
That's right. See, that's right.
I'll have four.
Here. See, you have the green, long, hard, large splashes. And then you have the blue, short and hard, fast splashes with small droplets. Orange, long and soft, concentrated splashes, large droplets.
There you go, Jeff.
And black, short and soft. Short splash.
Long and soft.
I said.
Honestly, these descriptions, you have to be really careful with these descriptions.
I know. And there's even a video and there's a product guide. So there you go. For some people, hey, I know what you're saying, Jeff.
This next one I'm actually kind of interested in.
People have been talking about these. Yeah, the metallic liquid markers, 4-unit set.
Have you ever used any of these type products, Terry?
I've used the Molotochrome ones. Yeah, they're very nice. I haven't used these ones yet.
So again, highly pigmented. Yep.
It looks like a really narrow tip.
That's actually good.
Gold.
The Molotov is it's not as narrow. Yeah. Sakuras are fine, but they're not like this.
And in four good colors: copper, old bronze, gold, and chrome. Highly pigmented paints. Shake well with cap. Remove the cap before use. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, it is. Yeah, you have to tell people.
That's like on coffee mugs. It says caution, contents are hot.
Hot, yeah, because someone's done it. Like do not stick finger into the shredder.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, so then we have the dry brush set. So I used to laugh at this one because I think Mig came out with, but I've been reading up on some dry brushing because I've been doing with my BattleTech minis. I've been doing some dry brushing. And a lot of mini painters, they would use to cut down some of their brushes.
Yeah.
In some ways, if you don't want to play around or don't want to go to the drugstore and get a makeup brush, this might be an idea.
So these
are cut down.
These are round brushes cut down to dome shapes.
Yeah, basically.
So that gives you a lot more control over your dry brushing. It tends to avoid that little mark, that little line you would get if you're just using your old beat up brush.
And I've cut down my brush, and it's a challenge sometimes to get a good shape. So I can see why this would be popular. So you get a number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 8. Next up, we have wooden sheets in A4 size because, it comes from Europe. Includes 2 sheets.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's veneer, right?
It's veneer, yeah.
Yeah. Very thin natural wood of A4 size. So if you can't go to a Home Depot and troll the offcut bin or the offcut veneer bin, it's very thin as well. So, there you go.
Huh.
So yeah, that's from our friends at AK Interactive.
There you go.
Okay, moving.
So if you've got a silhouette or a cricket or something like that, you could put it in there, draw your shapes on it, and then cut them out. I don't know. The cricket. Well, if you don't mind burning through some blades, you could probably score it as well.
Probably. Now, this next one, I'm trying to remember if we talked about this at a club night or a build night. I don't think we talked about it here. This is the 1/16th scale from Tacom, their latest release. This is the M50 Ontos with an interior. So this is basically a tiny little two-person, I'm not even going to call it tank, armored vehicle, but it has six recoilless rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And they used them. It was announced in the 50s originally, and it was used in Vietnam. You don't want to be behind it when it fires. No. But it did very well, very popular in Vietnam, but it's small, which will make it popular for the 1/16th crowd. And they only carried, they only carried 18 rounds. So three or four reloads.
And frankly, this is the kind of thing that could do with a lot of sci-fi type of structures too. You could put lots of antennas on it and have some fun with it.
Yeah. Some of the crews didn't like it because the armor wasn't that good. It wouldn't protect you from a 50 cal, and you had to reload the rifles from outside, which is kind of awkward if you're under fire.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah,
but it's still interesting.
Yeah, the Marines had placed 297. So yeah, and you see some of the size comparison. It's like, isn't it cute?
It really is.
So I love this. At the Aberdeen Proving Ground, all six guns were fired at once, and the back blast was so great that it knocked bricks out of nearby buildings and shattered numerous car windows. And then the recoilless rifle accuracy was greatly aided by attaching .50 caliber spotting rifles to four of the barrels. So the rifle fired a tracer round whose trajectory, at least for the first 1,100 yards, was nearly identical. So
that's interesting.
Reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, they said for bunker busters and stuff like that with high explosive rounds. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like this.
And they had a B5 beehive round when it exploded. Massive whirlwind cloud of nearly 10,000 steel flechettes. Yeah, that would be the ultimate in anti-personnel. It's like what's that red smear? Yeah, that was a sniper. So yeah.
Every now and again, you remember what these things were for.
Yeah.
Yep. No hiding it.
Nope. Okay, next up we have 4 new products announced by GoodMan Models for 2023. Under the coming soon. They do some really nice little detailed models of not the most common subjects sometimes. So 4 new ones, starting in one. Again, it seems like 1/16 is going to be the scale of the year. This is a Panzer II OS-B modified for the French campaign. Small little light tank. So they produced a couple of 1/16 scale kits before. So again, for the armor fans in that scale. Then there is the British World War II tractor with the 4x4 field artillery, the C8 Mark II early and 1/35th. This is a quad.
The quads.
Yep.
Quad Mark IIs. Very nice.
I do like the quads. They're nice.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. It doesn't say if they're going to include artillery or not. Probably not. But then you have the late version of the C8 Quad Mark II. And then you've got the German 4x4 with the Pak 40, the Pak 40 anti-tank gun tractor, the C8. The Beat Wagon.
I think it's the same. It's the same
captured
vehicle.
Captured vehicle.
Yeah.
So we don't have a release date yet for any of these, but they are saying it's coming out this year.
They do look good. They do look nice.
They do.
At least the cover art looks nice.
Yeah. All right. This is one I know a lot of armor guys will like. This is the Morris Bofors gun truck. So this is a gun truck, the C9 or the B late. This packs a 40 millimeter Bofors.
We talked about the announcement last week, but this is actually some review.
This is actually some screenshots.
Yeah.
And this looks very nice. So I just thought I'd include that as well.
That is kind of a lot of detail and intricacy in it. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Some very nice screenshots. So I thought it was worth a second look.
The thing I like about these two is that on the website they show a whole bunch of reference photos of the real thing in action, and that's quite helpful. We didn't have that when we were kids.
Okay, next up is Heller. I know we briefly discussed they're doing some new mold stuff, but they did have a new video with the chairman on their YouTube page, and I'll include the link. But this is just all their new tool stuff. Some of this is a month or two old, but they are going to come out with all new tooling. So the company's back apparently. So again, some French vehicles, Panzer III, a starter kit they're going to do. So these are all new molds, and they're planning to re-release some of their other ones, just like Airfix is doing. So, yeah.
Estafette.
Citrons and space dioramas, and let's see, the Citron DS19. If I scroll down, some tractors. I'm looking at just their regular kits now, some of their car kits. But yeah, you get the idea. But anyway, keep an eye. Again, they do have a YouTube channel as well. Would be worth having a peek and see what else is going to happen. Okay, this is really cool. I'm surprised it took this long. So people who know F-111s know the aircraft doesn't have ejection seats. It has an escape pod. So if things go wrong, an escape pod pops out. So this is the F-111 escape pod in 1/32 scale from our friends at ResKit. Kind of cool.
It is kind of neat looking.
Yeah, some 3D printed parts in resin. Looks like a little bit of photo etch here and there. But again, if you don't have room for the entire kit, because the F-111 cockpit's so beautifully exposed.
Yeah, it is. It's a great little idea.
Yeah.
And ResKit's they just keep going and going and going.
Yep, and they're from the Ukraine, so they're putting up with the war, and they're producing some excellent products. So
looks like some gorgeous cockpit placards and just beautiful stuff here.
Yeah, there'll be some neat stuff.
Ooh,
okay,
nice
nice seats, and it looks really good. Okay, next up for the military model figure guys and girls. Mitch's Military Modeler, 1/9 or 200 mil full figure of a paratrooper posed as he boards his transport. So this is a U.S. paratrooper for D-Day, I would assume, or Operation Market Garden. I like the fact that they're including, part of the door of the aircraft. Again, beautifully cast. I'm sure that'll look good. We'll see a few of those, I'm sure.
Wow, really nice.
Yeah, just even got the angry look, saying, "I'm pissed. I'm ready to chew bubblegum and kick ass." And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I thought he looked constipated, but that's another story.
Well,
one would hope not.
Yeah, really.
That
that first jerk of the parachute. Yeah, that's not going to be, the German below. Why is it raining shit? Don't look up. Don't look up, Adolf. Yeah. All right. I saw this on ScaleMates. Border Models had a couple of releases. Just in case we think we don't have enough Nashorns, assault guns, big assault gun, German World War II assault guns in 1/35. Our friends at Border, they have one. The SDKFZ 164 Nashorn. Very limited, just some news about it. Just it's going to be released. So nice. I know there'll be a lot of people interested in that. And then also, they announced this last year, but we've actually got box art now. The 135th Focke-Wulf F190 A6. So there's the box art for that. Full engine and weapons interior. So that's going to be a nice kit.
Yeah. Is this the first of their 35th scale that they've released?
Of their fighter aircraft? Well, yeah. They did the Lancaster, of course. The Wingnut Wings Lancaster. But this is one of their first in their fighters.
Yeah, 35th as well.
Yeah, 35th. Yeah, so they're specifically doing that. Yeah,
there's a lot of good diorama opportunities with this plane.
They have done the Stuka and they did a 109 as well. So they have done a couple.
Okay,
have done a couple already. Yeah, and of course the Lancaster. So yeah, that'll be good from our friends at Border. Okay, and then as I mentioned last week or last episode, we record on Monday nights, the weekend before this goes out to air. And our good friends at Airfix, they were bloody rude. They decided to do their announcement the day after. So I was rather annoyed. But I shared it. I liked it. We had a few of our podcasting partners were actually managed to talk to some of people at Airfix. A lot of cool things, the normal whining and stuff like that. People waiting, they didn't see their thing, but as usual, they've come out with some pretty interesting things. None more so and greeted with enthusiasm is a Fairy Gannet in 1/48 scale, the AS1 or AS4. This was a Fleet Air Arm fighter and a very unique looking.
Well, it's an airborne early warning type aircraft. Yeah. And well, not the first version. This was like the torpedo version, I think.
Very unique folding wings, which they're going to duplicate. The wings will fold in the characteristic Z pattern. From what I've seen of the sprue shots, it looks very nice. Again, still works in progress. Because again, the rivet counters were out. It was scary to see that, but that's normal. Also popular was a Ferret Scout car in 1/35th. Because I don't know if anyone's done one, or if they have, it's very old or resin or whatever. So this is the Mark II. So this was greeted with quite a bit of enthusiasm. And then also they're doing an F-35B Lightning. They're doing a starter set, and they're also doing a set with the Dambuster Squadron. So they're going to include their Dambuster Lancaster and the F-35 in a set together. You can also get it as a starter set. So that's another one. And the one I might just get it anyway, just because even though it's a starter set, is the Land Rover Series 1 pickup. The classic Land Rover and the scratch builders. There's so many different things you can do with that back bed. They'll be selling quite a few of those. And the most interesting story is the Bond Bug. Let's just talk about this. The classic Bond Bug. This was, there was a big thing in England for the longest time of three-wheel cars. And frankly, they were ugly. I remember when I'd go over when I was a kid on holiday and you'd see these things. Well, this was an attempt to make it a little bit spiced it up. Unfortunately, they didn't sell very many. So it was only released for about a year. And it seems like the model mold was only released for about a year. And they thought it was lost. They actually found the mold, but they did have to recreate the clear plastic part. They didn't have that, so they decided to do that. Wow. So those of us growing up in England of a certain age will remember this with fondness. So yeah, part of their vintage classic. So it does have one sprue of new molding. I can't speak for the rest of it, but yeah, that's going to be good. And go ahead.
I wonder if this is a sign of things to come. This vintage classics line. I wonder if they'll ever re-release little James Bond, Little Nelly autogyro.
Well, you never know, because one of the other ones they released in the vintage classic is the Fairy Rotodyne. That was an experimental. Yeah. So, that'll drive the price down, because I also wanted to do an Air Canada version of that. And they also have, for you, Jeff, the Bristol Bloodhound missile in the vintage classic. Absolute terrible molding. You will swear at it. You will.
I built that when I was a kid. I know exactly how bad it is.
It's back. They've also got the British Army 135th 4x2 30 SCWT truck. It's going to be released. They've got a new mark of the Airfix Mosquito with some new decals. The vintage classic, the Great Western. The Auster Antarctic, the classic Antarctic type training plane. The Hawker Sea Fury. And they've also, they've got the Voodoo, or the Vampire. Hang on, let me remember here. The Vampire. They've got the Ep109, and people were expecting this in 1/48 because there was enough spare parts on the sprues that, they just have to modify a few things. So they've added that. Now, here's the one I really, I don't know if you've heard of their quick build range, but their quick build range, it's essentially just like Lego. Okay. It's designed for kids, no glue required, pre-painted. And I know Richard at our local store last year, he had one of the Spitfires, and I got a chance to actually look at it and play it. It's actually not bad. It's a great idea. Well, they have a London transport bus they're going to do, and it looks really nice. I may have to pick that up because it's the new style Routemaster. So yeah, I may have to pick that up.
I always like the double deckers. I mean, I would be tempted. I would be very sorely tempted.
Yeah, there's a few out there, a few older molds and different companies doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. They've also got a quick build of the newer model London Taxi. and a lot of like McLarens and stuff like that, some of the supercars. So they're trying to appeal to all people. It's a little bit light on the ship side, but that's all right. Some of the stuff is new tools, some of it's newer decals, but it shows both Airfix and their sister companies, Hornby and all that. They all were producing some pretty innovative stuff. They all do new products around the same time. Launches usually all in that same week, and so definitely, Hornby, who owns Airfix, they're definitely seem to be back on the right path. In fact, they've just started a show again, season 2 of their behind the scenes of the Hornby company. And I have season 1, and it's when they were working on the Lightning and that a couple of years back. And it was fascinating to see what goes on, how they choose kits and all that. So, when you see these announcements and people are moaning and stuff like that, you realize there's a logic. They sell the stuff that's going to sell, or they think that's going to sell, or what they've been told. And they've got some very good product this year. I think will do very well.
At our club meeting last week, we always do a show and tell table, and one of our members brought an old Airfix model of the I can't remember the number, but the Blom and Voss, which was known for weird planes, where it had essentially one entire nacelle, which was the engine on one end and the tail, and then a little bit to the side of that on the wing was the cockpit. And I remember that kit when I was a kid, and it was a terrible kit. Nothing fit, and the glass was bad and everything. This guy took this thing, he sanded everything down. It was all rivets and everything, sanded it down, scribed it. Amazing result. It was brilliant. And I think, Stuart, you took some pictures and put it on our club page. They're beautiful. But you can do stuff like that with some of these old molds. You just have to spend a lot more time. That's all.
Yep, exactly. But gorgeous, gorgeous stuff, what you can do. So it's good to see. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Scalemates, or how we separate ourselves from our wallets. So new releases, just the full kits we're looking at. New tool. We mentioned the Nashorn and the Falkworth. A Caproni CA133 vacuum form from Broplan. A Greek submarine.
It's kind of nice to see. It's nice to see a new vac form coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for me, but we do have vac form.
Not for you.
No. Bandai Spirits has a couple of dinosaurs: the Triceratops and the Tyrannosaurus.
Oh, fun!
We have the Escape Cool, the UH-1Y by Academy in 1/35th scale.
That's finally getting released.
Yeah,
very cool.
1/350th scale Lightning 2s, the takeoff version from HS Models for your carrier kits. We have a Soviet passenger collar, the Gorky 21. How can not be Soviet?
I was just going to say, we just don't see enough Soviet passenger cars.
I know. Well, how about the Gorky 53A, the truck?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. What else here? HS Models 1/350 Super Stallion.
Yeah.
And all this stuff from this Whip 3D.
Yeah.
They're all 35th scale. Yeah. Armored trucks and artillery, rail-mounted guns.
Yeah, some cool things here.
I mean, just rail batteries, the type they would wheel out from in cover or whatever, or use that for the recoil, I guess.
A lot from this company. Let me just see if I can find anything more about this company.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
3D. Looks like they're out of Italy. Yeah, they're out of Italy. Whip3D.it. Let's wait for the page to load here. 3D print service. They aspire to be the link between the collective imaging of 3D technology and everyday reality.
Okay. That's good. I like that.
Where you can find us, categories, about us. Yeah, looks like a nice company to check out.
It would be interesting to see what these actually look like in the box.
Exactly.
I'm going to put this page under the what we've seen, so our listeners can also see about that. Let me put that right now. All right, what else do we have here? Let's see.
You got a Hugars.
A lot of stuff. Italian artillery up the yin yang. Hugar, historical
Hugars. Yes. Historischer Schiffstype.
Yep. K21, a Rheandosaurus 130th. Ray Harryhausen 100th anniversary.
Yeah,
I
nice.
think we saw that the last time, because
Yeah, I
that was
think we're going
the
down.
Pokey.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting back a bit. Yeah, some of the releases, they're just starting to ramp up again with the new year. Everyone
Yeah.
enjoyed Christmas. So yeah, so that's kind of the that's kind of the what's new.
Well,
know,
if any of our listeners have experienced WIP 3D kits, we'd love to know what they
yeah.
think of it.
Yeah,
That'd be
some
interesting.
very interesting aircraft stuff. Catapults, naval trailer, yeah, all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, obviously someone or a group of people that really enjoy what they're doing. Okay,
Yep.
and a great segue for someone else who really enjoys what he's doing, our buddy Steve at Cult TV Man. So let's hear about what's new and exciting, all sorts of goodies. Here we go. All right, let's talk about the latest items and deals coming in at Cult TV Man, namely CultTVManShop.com. As of the time of this recording, January 27th, they have a small number of Cyclops kits now available. There's a lot more coming in mid-February. This is from X Plus. This is from the seventh voyage of Sinbad. Next week, Steve reports they're also going to have the Aliens Power Loaders, Space 1999 Eagle 4 and the Moon Buggy kits, and a lot more restocks. They're going to have the new Vampirella kit and the much anticipated Lost in Space Chariot in mid-February. They also have, speaking of Lost in Space, they've got the Lost in Space Technical Manual. This is the new one by Ron Gross. It's the technical handbook at 160 pages to technical diagrams, photos, and artworks, including 50 technical blueprint views covering the Jupiter 2, the robot, the chariot, space pod weaponry, and all sorts of other assorted hardware. There's also a chapter devoted to the models featured in the series. So I remember growing up and having the Star Trek blueprints and the technical manual and all that. It's a good thing. A very good deal here. $47.99 is going to be in. So make sure you check that out. And all the other amazing deals at Cult TV Man and CultTVManShop.com. And you let them know the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, we're back. What's on the bench? I'll start because mine's pretty short. This darn real life. It really sucks sometimes. Real life's been knocking me around. So not a lot of bench time. I did get a start on the landing gear on the Bowfighter. That was actually a couple nights ago. And I have been painting up two of my mechs, did a little bit of dry brushing after a wash. So that's really all I've done. Our club, we just had our elections, so we changed leaderships. I managed to escape. Jeff didn't.
No.
But there's all the tech side of things. I'm still doing the tech support for them and managing the Google's page and the website. So there was a lot of stuff with that on the weekend. So there may have not been building, but there was other modeling related activity. Jeff.
Yeah, well, as you know, and Terry knows, I've been working on these kits for the Jet Aircraft Museum here in London. They want these. I talked about it at the last meeting, and I finally decided I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take notes. So what time I start working on something and what time I finish, and then add up how much time I've spent on these kits. I've got over 80 hours invested in these things so far.
Jeff deserves a flight on the Red Knight, folks. I'm just saying we're gonna figure something out there.
That would be nice. But I don't see it in my future. But I'm getting pleased with them. I've been posting pictures up on our club site. I'll probably put a couple up on the on the podcast site as well, just or Facebook page, just so people can see. But it's mostly been a sanding exercise, filling. I did find at our club meeting when I brought my current status of the T33 in for everybody to look at, it was quickly pointed out to me by multiple people that the wings were too short. And so I went home, did a little math, and sure enough, they were a scale 20 feet too short, 10 feet on either side.
I thought you were building the clipped wing version. Otherwise, I would have said something.
I'm not sure it would actually fly this well. But I think what happened was the kit, or for lack of a better word, the kit was actually missing two parts. There were two more pieces for these wings, one for each side, that would have connected up the wingtip tanks to the main body of the wing. And because the tanks did not line up at all with what was left of the wing. So I wound up making new extensions for each of the wings out of sheet styrene and putty, and it's starting to look pretty good. It certainly looks a lot more like a T-33. So that's something. And I'm having some trouble with my airbrush spraying techniques with the ghost camouflage. I'm not getting the kind of nice sort of soft delineation between colors that I'm looking for. So I have a little bit more practice to do there, and we'll get there. But a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of work.
Well, it's, hey, you've been doing well for it, so it's working. People are happy with it, so you'll be fine. Yeah, I still think it should be an article in RT.
Well, I got enough pictures of it, so I probably could do one, but I'm not sure there's enough. I could probably be an article in the electronic version, just more of a comedy piece.
Yeah, no, exactly. Either one, I think. Okay, Terry.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of work on the Babs models. Not a huge amount of progress there. It's looking good, at least the Kamikaze version. I just need essentially to get the small drill bits so I can drill little holes to put the rigging in, and I can't find them.
Oh dear.
So I may wind up just buying another set from.
Well, I would say if you could wait till March, see what Panda Hobbies has.
Oh no, I want these cannot sit on my bench till March.
I know.
No, I'll get it from Micromark or something like that. Get a set because they die over time anyway. So I was due for a new set. I had a few small ones left.
Makes perfect sense. Any excuse to shop at Micromart. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's the
That's like Lee Valley up here. Yeah, it's a dangerous store.
But I did start the big the 72nd scale Hasegawa Ruggle from Macross.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's set up essentially like a Bandai kit to some degree, where you kind of need to paint the panels before you put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And the tolerances on them look pretty good. So on those panels, I can probably do that.
Cool.
Some of the more 3D ones that have the bits inside them and such, they're assembled essentially and filled up and ready for paint. So
you think it might be nice. Wonderful? You think it might be a Wonderfest?
It'll be done. It'll be done by Wonderfest. It'll be on the table.
Good. Very cool. All right. So Anthony, he did mention his VF4G Lightning's done. He has enclosed some pictures, so we'll make sure we include those. It looks very nice. So yeah, that's a nice looking plane, the Lightning.
It is.
Looks nice.
It's loaded for bear too.
Yeah, the sundowner scheme he managed to do is really nice too. So very good. Great weathering job. Okay, let's talk about Sean's custom model tools and all the goodies he has. They're also coming to a Heritage Con near you. Here we go. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the GoodMan Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those GoodMan Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's Really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at seanscustommodeltools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, things we've seen. I noticed this one. You know my love of photo etch, particularly the fact that I've got several 350th scale battleship and destroyer kits. Well, Bunker Studios, they're now partnering in North America with 3D Wild, because Bunker Studios, if you have to ship them into North America, it's rather expensive. So they're partnering with 3D Wild for their various 1/200th, 1/350th, all that good stuff for your instead of photo etch, 3D printed needs. So, the 1/350th U.S. Navy Oerlikon 20 millimeter AA guns. Looks like 10 or 20 to the set. Yeah, you don't have to fit together like a whole crap load of photo etch and drive yourself nuts.
That looks great. They look good on the screen.
They look
they
nice
do
on the screen. So yeah, I'm thinking definitely.
I can see you investing a lot in these, Stuart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, I've got a destroyer and I've got 3 different battleships.
They're tiny, right? So 10 of these is $10 for the single Oerlikon anti-aircraft
to save the aggro and my heart. Yes.
Yeah.
And the time. And the time.
Exactly. They've got directors, they've got anchor chains, all sorts of goodies. I've got a King George. I think it's the King George V battleship. I don't see a lot of British stuff there yet, but I do have a Bismarck. I have a Missouri, but a modern Missouri, not the World War II one. But again, I do have that Fletcher 1/350th Tamiya Fletcher destroyer it came with a crap load of photo etch, which is frankly scary.
Yeah, it was scary. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why you gave it to me. Yes, so and so. But yeah, they got some cool stuff here. So I just thought I'd point that out. They're not the only one doing it in the range, but they are a more nuisance. More recent. More recent.
I like nuisance.
Nuisance.
Nations.
That's like the sanding you're doing, right? It's a nuisance.
Sorry about that.
No. I didn't hear it. I see the movement in the camera. So
yeah,
and the look of that one vein starting to pop out of your forehead. Just saying.
If I'm sitting here, I'm just casually wet sanding something.
It's good. It's fine. No, it's zen like, right?
Yep.
All right. Who did this one? The Barracuda Studio. Is this you, Terry?
Yeah, I did. Speaking of the new Anson from Airfix, he must have got an early copy of this or pre-production.
Yeah.
Mike Williams posted over in the Barracuda Studios ready room. He's already completed one. And I think that is the RAF Coastal Command Temperate Land Scheme.
RAAF, yeah. He used the foliage green RAAF Earth, yeah. Yeah, it's an Australian one.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I think that's the scheme. But I'm not sure. They had some weird schemes. Yeah. It looks very handsome on this aircraft, though. It looks really good. And I have an old classic airframes Anson. It was one of the flood kits, so the instructions and decals are gone.
Get rid of it.
This is nice. I mean, yeah.
It's very
it's like
it's going to be a very popular kit. I mean,
we just got it at our local shop. Yeah. Rochdale Hobbies has one in.
Yeah, Airfix is just hitting them. They're just.
Yeah. I also noticed the other day in one of the Warbirds groups I subscribe to on Facebook, someone's selling. They have a flying one that's up for sale. They've done it in an RAF scheme.
I saw that
1-to-1.
Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting.
That is a beautiful. He's done a great job on that.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
And I'll mention here, I picked up the ICM OV-10A Bronco because NASA used one, so I want to paint it up like that. And I bought a couple bits and pieces for it, like Quick Boost has a FOD cover set for it and a prop set and such like that. And I bought the Edward. I was going to buy just the masks, but then they have a little set that has the wheels, masks, some seat belts, and some really gorgeous instrument clusters.
Yeah,
that are I think they're resin cast, it looks like, but they're printed.
Yep.
The faces are printed in them. I took a picture with the cell phone.
And it looks gorgeous.
And we'll put it in there
Yeah.
on the notes because, you have to see this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
They look like the Quinta products, but at least with these, you don't have to worry about the Russian thing.
Yep.
Well, and there's others that do that as well, but these are just the instrument clusters. They look like they're drop-in replacements for the kit parts.
Yeah.
So you can build the rest of the canopy, the cockpit, however you want to do, and use these bits.
It reminds me of some of the Yahoo sets, but a lot more detailed
and more structured. I mean, it is that piece. They're just, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So definitely something to look for.
You gotta you've sent that picture, so got to put that in the show notes for the viewers, for the listeners.
Yeah, I'll see. I'm just looking for the link from the Edwards store. And,
okay. Well, we'll include that in the link.
We'll put both in. So yeah, just gorgeous. So yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. So, all righty. Anyone else have any news or anything before we get to the last word? Anyone? Bueller?
Silence.
Pin drop. Jeff is sanding.
I'm not
Jeff
anymore.
sanding some more. No, but he was. No, it looks really good. I think that would make, they definitely have to give you more than a year's membership at the Jet Aircraft Museum.
The real challenge with this is this T-33 because it's supposed to be a natural metal finish. So, God.
It's going to be fun for you. That's going to be fun. You know what? You may have to look into a larger spray gun. Check out, the guy who's the dentist, his page on airbrushes. He did a series on spray guns.
Paul Budzik.
Paul, yeah. He did a series on larger spray guns when he does his larger ship models and that. You may, in all seriousness, you may need to look at that.
I know. Well, I have found that, well, we'll see. Yep.
Because you're going to need something large when you do your Felixstowe and your Enterprise. And,
and my Yamato.
And your Yamato. Exactly.
I picked up on an auction a kit that somebody had started and didn't get very far of the Christie fire engine. I think the kit was made by AMT, and it's massive. It's going to be about 2 feet long once it's done. It's a 1910 vintage steam fire engine.
You keep finding these auctions. I have yet to find anything at the auction sites. You must go to one in the boonies.
Well, no, this is the main one in London. It's the big one. It's the estate auction. So
I must have missed it. Okay.
Yeah,
but that's fine. Not that I can afford much right now, anyway. So, got to save my pennies. So yeah, just to remind.
More expensive.
I know it's just working for a living. Not I'm not like retired like some of us.
Yeah,
living the life. And then their kids say, "Dad, can you help me with this, and this?"
Yeah, we were babysitting last week for 2 days. Babysitting this week for a day. Yeah.
Were you the cool modeling grandpa again?
Not modeling this time. I was the cool Lego Destructor and the cool Legend of Zelda player. So
excellent. You gotta raise them right.
Yep, absolutely.
Very, very, very true. So, all right. So I guess we will do the last word. We are also sponsored by, you heard us mention them before, Brett and Chrissy at Return to Kit Form. Definitely check out their web store for all your Macross needs. If you're looking for a cockpit mass for your Macross fighter, they got them, definitely. They're also your non-North American distributor for Moscato Hobby Models. Which, both Anthony and Terry love some of their stuff. They've been building some stuff.
Yeah, I was working on the Dragon last week. A little bit more here and there.
Yeah, that's going to look good. But yeah, you're looking for Macross stuff. They're the ones to check out. I know they were having a sale on the Macross Zero 172nd, from Macross Zero, the F-14 and the MiG-29. These are both Hasegawa releases, but with the Macross Zero decals. But it looks like they're about 20% off right now, which is a very favorable price. So you definitely want to check those out if you haven't got those yet in your collection. So return the number 2 kitform.com. You'll find them on the web. You'll find them on Facebook, here, there, and everywhere. Don't forget to tell them the Scale Model Podcast sent you. So for more modeling podcast goodness, we do have a group page at modelpodcast.com where you can find all of our other friends in the podcast world. Check out their podcast. You know, it's awesome. Every podcast is unique in its own way. There's about 9 or 10 there now, and we're all unique in our own way. So it's really cool to see. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. I am posting full audio episodes. And if I have time, I include some other photos in that onto the YouTube channel. And of course, our very own podcast, scalemodelpodcast.com, where you get the amazing notes. You can see pictures of Terry's masterpieces, Jeff's works in progress of the fine sanding he's doing, and his completed stuff, and occasionally the odd one of mine, plus whatever our prize winners are submitting. So definitely check that out as well. All right, so for episode 109, my name is Stuart Clark.
I'm Jeff Highland.
And I'm Terry Measley, reminding you to clean your tip to avoid the crust.
Oh, don't.
Like I said, we were definitely into the PG rating. Thank you, and be well.